The more you make the unconscious conscious, the more you become whole. But that's after the healing. That's after the healing. You become whole after the healing. Healing equates to wholeness. But the more you make the unconscious conscious, the more you become whole. And I say that because I was sitting here reflecting on how we all been battle tested. We all been battle tested. We all been battle tested to the point that there's somebody somewhere right now at this time, whether day or night, telling the war story right now, even if they're telling the war story about somebody else. You hear me? In the name of knowledge yourself, right now. Matter of fact, there's somebody telling all type of stories right now, in this moment, at this time, somewhere, day or night. Because we all the stitches of source, and that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to say it again. The more you make the unconscious conscious, the more you become whole. You know? But we all been battle tested. So the battle ain't the problem. How battle tested we been. It's not a competition. You hear me? What we doing with the battle that we've been through, the battle, you know, regardless of how many, it's only been one battle. And those that's listening gonna get it. Regardless of how many battles we face, it's only been one. See, so we all been battle tested. And if we've been battle tested, that means we've acquired the tools. We've acquired the emotions. You see, we've acquired the insights. We've acquired the lessons. We've acquired the teachings. Whether we learn from them or not, that's a whole nother story. You see, but we've been battle tested, so we've been through what we needed to go through in order for us to know what we need to know. Why is that important? Because to become whole requires us to include all aspects of ourselves. Conscious, see how it all come back, and unconscious, or whichever way you want to put it, vice versa. He and her, it and that, light and dark, God and the opposite. But if you God, you don't got no opposites. See, it's levels to this. But which brings me to my point. If we all been battle tested, I mean we got everything we need to know. We've been through everything we needed to go through. You know, unless we ain't learned some lessons and we still feel like we need to go through the loop. We need to hop back in. We need to get back in the hamster wheel. This ain't for you. You know, but for those who've been battle tested and have learned the lessons, acquired the knowledge, you see, and now know thyself and the truth of that, because the truth will set you free. You see, and if you truly know who you are, you see, then you are me. I'm just another version of you. You hear me? But or aspect of the self that you are, and myself. You see, all aspects of self, conscious and unconscious. You see? So, to include all aspects of ourselves, you know, we have to have the ability to sit in discomfort. We have to have the ability to find ourselves in uncomfortable situations, to say it another way. We have to find ourselves having the ability to sit in the face of unfortunate situations. You see, we have to find ourselves having the ability to be still. You see, in tragic situations. You see, as well as all the good, comfortable ones. So forth and so on. See, light and shadow, or shadow part self. Light and shadow. See, mental and physical. You hear me? Etheric and spiritual. You see, it means having the ability to ask yourself the tough and soulful, questions that nobody else around you willing to ask you, unless it's Awu. You see, you gotta be able to confront yourself about all that stuff that those who really say they love you need to be confronting you with, or need to be addressing with you, or need to be having discussions with you about that they want to tell you. You see, how do I know? Do I really need to say if I'm sitting here saying it? How do I know? Because I've been there. See, so you gotta be able to see yourself from outside yourself. That's why I say things like sometimes you gotta fall back from yourself. You can't be caught up in nothing. Sometimes you gotta fall. You can't be caught up in nothing. They told me to repeat that. You can't be caught up in nothing. Cause sometimes you gotta fall back from yourself in order to know what yourself doing. And each and every moment we know what ourselves doing. You see, but the part of ourselves that don't keep in touch with that, lose focus of that. You see, lose remembrance of that. You see, but that don't stop the self that know from knowing. So that's how much we got to keep up on ourselves as far as what the being conscious of what the unconscious doing. See, making the unconscious conscious. To be conscious of what the unconscious doing, you got to make the unconscious conscious. It just sounds tricky, but it ain't. This the work. You hear me? Yeah. It mean having the ability to take yourself down a rabbit hole with no intention of coming out. Take yourself down a rabbit hole of yourself. Follow the white rabbit within yourself. You see, into them places that's gonna show you about yourself that only yourself can show you, because you ain't willing to hear from nobody else. Just like I wasn't willing to hear from nobody else when I wasn't willing to hear from nobody else, and that led me to all the places that it was gonna lead me to, so I could figure it out the hard way. You hear me? If you listening, you won't miss it. You hear me? You hear me? And anybody younger than me, it'll do you some good to be listening, so you won't miss it. You see, and you can apply it when you need it. You see, because you don't know it until it's an application in your life. You see, you see, this is not spirituality. It's not a watch from the sideline activity. It's not a watch from the sideline event. You hear me? We don't just do this one day of the week. You see, you do this each and every day. You do this each and every day. That's what being about source business is all about. In the story they wrote about Yahshua called it his father's business. But this is what operating with source is all about. Forget all that other amplified, magnified things they be talking about. We talking about putting the law in operation, because we all been battle tested. You see, so to win the war, we got to put the laws in operation. You see, because through the battles, we became aware of the laws that battles that we have to exercise, the laws that we have to exercise through battles in order to come out victorious. You hear me? And if you still here, live in a physical vessel, having a human experience, having a spiritual being, then you already won the war. You hear me? So I said all that to say that we already won. And now it's just about application. Application about knowing how to make use of the laws, whether you call them universal law, cosmic law, whatever. But knowing the laws and the laws that work for you and not against you. You see, and they want the laws. In order for the laws to work for you, you see, you gotta want for everybody else like you want for yourself. You see. This what the ancestors saying through me. This what source using the ancestors to say through me. You hear me? So when I say you, I'm talking about me too, because I'm not Sawu not excluded. You hear me? You know, I gotta stay in touch with what's vibrationally and resonance, and the vibration and resonance, that's coming through according to the frequencies that is coming through, and then be able to translate it. So you see, so I can't miss a beat. God never take a day off. You hear me? God never take a day off. But yeah, we gotta be willing to take ourselves down that rabbit hole with no intention of coming out, unless we coming back up with everything that we needed to remember why we chose this experience, and why I chose this experience and why you chose this experience with me in the first place. No matter where you are, you hear me? Because no matter where we are, the moment you tap in, we're in the same place. No matter where you are, whenever you tap into this message, whenever you tap into these words, that's coming through my mouth. In that moment, we're in the same space. You hear me? You see, the only thing that caused separation from you, from the connection, or separate or discord in the connection, you see, is your ability to hold on to the vision that these words that I use to paint pictures show you. You hear me? Cause once I do what I'm doing right now, and you see, on a universal scheme of things, my job is done. You see, cause I'm saying all this to say, and all I don't say it, on this path to wholeness. I'm saying it because trauma don't just happen. Trauma just don't happen to you, and trauma just don't happen to nobody else. Trauma just don't happen to me. Trauma happen in us. Why is that important? or to answer my question, that's why that's so important. That's what, because the shadow work that's involved, the shadow work that's necessary. It's the shadow work that make it important. You see, trauma don't just happen to us. Trauma happen in us, regardless of the type of traumas, because there's levels to this. We ain't all experience the same thing. So I ain't gonna sit here and talk like we have, but in whatever we experience, that trauma and how it may have traumatized us, it didn't just happen to us, it happened in us. Somebody gonna catch it, and the person that catch it gonna have a quantum leap. You see, gonna have a timeline shift in their life. You see, in a mental life, in a emotional life, you see, and depending on what they do with that nugget in it, their physical life included, more amplified, because what affect the first two affect the third. What affect the mind, what affect the feelings, affect the physical. If you know, and if you don't, I hope you listening. Because it's important. This is why we see a lot of things that we see. We see it in a time that everybody's supposed to be so woke, because it ain't no integration. You see, it ain't no integration. Ain't no balance. It's only balance in those who have did the work in themselves. You see, so you may be the only person balanced. You see, on your block, if you the balanced one. Otherwise, you're probably looking at the baddest one on your block, like you look at me. You see, no one ain't saying something you need to hear, but everything but instead of listening, you do everything in your power to find a problem with it when it's speaking to your soul. You see, because it ain't no integration. Integration means expansion of elimination. You see, not process of elimination, expansion of elimination. So when you expanding, it ain't no need for elimination, because you integrating even the things that don't make us look so good. We integrating the things that don't make us look so good in a way to make us look better, because we're not still operating from them places. You see, and we healed ourselves in those spaces, and rose it up, you know, with the other part of ourselves that's already in that space, just was waiting for the twin to catch up. You hear me? Depending on what side of you operate from. Stay with me, walk with me. You hear me? I just came to talk. I just came to say something, make my presence felt. You know, integration means expansion, not elimination, and that means the shadow don't need to be destroyed. We only need to recognize it and acknowledge it for what it is and what it's meant to teach us, and then nurture it and discipline it and raise it up to the part of ourselves that we think, you know, so much, and then both part of ourselves, you know, is thought about in the same way. Stay with me, you see, because it's metaphysical. It's metaphysical in its physicality, you know. Yeah, man. The shadow work don't need to be destroyed, man. You know, it just need to be acknowledged, and that's important, because balance requires the light having the ability